A cold, lonesome place atop a mountain, known as Baldpate Inn. A snowstorm brews outside this summer resort, which has been closed up for the winter. Enter the caretaker, Elijah Quimby, and his wife, Mrs. Quimby. The clock strikes 11 o'clock p.m.
11 o'clock.
Yep, that's what it is. 11 o'clock. That fella will be here before we know it. Light the lamp, will you, dear, while I start this fire?
Maybe we should have gone to the depot to meet him.
No, the telegram said to come here. Open up the place, have it ready for him. That's what we're doing.
What do you suppose anyone wants to be doing in a summer hotel on the top of a mountain in the dead of winter? What's his name again?
Magee, I think the telegram said.
Well, the whole thing's very mysterious to me.
If Mr. Bentley wants to permit some darn fool to come to this place to be froze to death by stale air and frightened to death by ghosts, it's his concern and not ours. Now, there she goes. That'll warm it up a little.
Do you think I'd better fix up one of them rooms?
Sure, he'll need a place to sleep. Better fix that first room to the left near the linen closet. Okay. It's the one Mr. Bentley always takes when he's here.
Okay. You better put another log on that fire. He'll be chilled to the bone by the time he makes it up the mountain.
While Mrs. Quimby heads upstairs to get the room ready for Magee's arrival, Mr. Quimby sits by the fire stoking the logs. After a bit, the sound of tapping is heard. Mr. Quimby listens for a moment. He hears the sound of tapping again and turns toward the front door. As Mr. Quimby starts toward the door, Mrs. Quimby starts coming down the stairs.
Good Lord, what's that? It's him, he's here.
Well, why don't you let him in?
Why, yes, of course, just a minute.
Mr. Quimby opens the door and the wind howls outside. Magee enters, carrying 2 cases, setting them down right inside the door, rubs his hands together, and heads toward the fireplace to warm up. Mr. Quimby shuts the door, locking it, and turns to Magee.
You're Mr. Magee, I reckon?
Right. What's left of me? You've been expecting me, of course.
Oh, yes. My name's Quimby, and this here's my wife, Mrs. Quimby.
I thought as much. I'm delighted.
Glad to meet you, Mr. Magee.
So this is the Baldpate Inn, is it? Well. I'm very sorry to have taken you out on a night like this, but it's altogether necessary in order for me to accomplish what I've set out to do. Let me see. Are the rooms upstairs equipped with fireplaces?
Oh, yes. I was just fixing up one of them rooms. I'll start the fire, too. Have it ready for you inside 5 minutes.
Oh, I wish you would. Thank you. I'll no doubt be more comfortable up there. I suppose you're wondering what the devil I'm doing here.
Why, yes, I was wondering that very thing.
I don't suppose you read the sort of novels sold by the pound in department stores, do you?
Nope.
Well, I write those novels.
You don't say.
Wild, thrilling tales of the tired businessman's tired wife. Shots in the night, chases after fortune, Cupid's busy with his arrows all over the place. It's good fun. I like to do it, and there's money in it.
Is there now?
Well, of late, I've been running short on material. I need inspiration. My dear friend, your employer, suggested me the lonesomest spot on earth. Baldpate Inn. It was exactly what I needed. A summer resort in the winter, he told me. He dared me to come, so I took the dare, and here I am.
You mean you've come here to write a book?
As soon as I absorb my surroundings and take a few mental notes. You see, I like to do all my writing in the dead of night. I find it easier to concentrate from midnight on, but I must have absolute solitude. Only the crackle of the fire, the roar of the wind, and the ticking of my watch will keep me company at Baldpate Inn. I suppose this all sounds very strange to you.
Well, you're here in your own accord, I take it.
Oh, Mr. Quimby, I am here on a bet.
A bet? Oh, oh dear, come down to listen to this.
What is it? I've just about finished up here.
Mr. Magee is going to tell us why he's here.
Is that so? I'd love to know.
I have just explained to your husband that I am an author of books. I'm here to write a story about Baldpate Mountain, perhaps about this very room. And I'm to complete this task within 24 hours, starting at midnight tonight.
Gonna write a book in 24 hours?
That's the wager between Mr. Bentley and myself. He claimed it couldn't be done. I claimed it could. We each wrote a check for $5,000 and posted it at the 44th Street Club. He chose Baldpate Inn for the task. I gathered some manuscript paper, a dozen sandwiches, and my slippers in one suitcase, and my typewriter in another. Made it to the train just in time, and here I am.
Well, what do you think of that?
I never heard such a thing.
Here's a copy of the agreement, which you'll notice your name is mentioned. Mr. Elijah Quimby, who after making you comfortable, will turn over to you the key to the inn. The only key in existence. Do you have the key?
The only key I know of.
Good. You're to begin work at 12 o'clock midnight, Tuesday, and turn over to Mr. Elijah Quimby the manuscript of a 10,000-word story in Baldpate Inn no later than 12 o'clock midnight, Wednesday.
Well, what do you think of that?
I never heard such a thing. Good Lord.
Don't be alarmed, Mr. Quimby. Excuse me just a moment. Hello, yes, right on time. Half frozen, thank you. Yes, he's here, and Mrs. Quimby. Oh, we understand each other perfectly well. It's everything you said it was. You still feel that way, huh? Well, your opinion's going to cost you $5,000, old man. All right, we'll see you. Yes? Just a second. He wants to talk to you, Mr. Quimby.
Yes, hello, Mr. Bentley. Yes, sir. I understand, sir. 12 o'clock. Yes, sir. Oh, I'll be right here waiting. Fine, sir. Thank you, sir. All right. He wants me here at 12 o'clock tomorrow night to talk to him on the telephone.
I'm going to win this wager, you know. This whole thing wouldn't make a bad story in itself. Now, you're quite sure I won't be disturbed while I'm writing.
Who's going to disturb you here? No one ever comes within a mile of this place till the 1st of April, except myself, and I only come up here once a week. No one else knows you're here, and we ain't going to tell no one.
Is there anything else we can do for you, Mr. Magee?
No, nothing I can think of, thank you. Oh, the key.
Oh, Lord, the key, yes. Yeah, here it is.
You're positively certain that this is the only key to Baldpate in existence?
Yes, sir, I'm sure.
I can swear by it.
Good.
I don't mind staying here and keeping watch for you if you want me to.
No, thank you. I prefer to be alone.
Lord, I should think you'd be afraid of ghosts.
Ghosts?
Oh, don't mind her, Mr. Magee. There's an old fella up here on the mountain by the name of Peters. He's a hermit.
A hermit, you say?
Yes, well, his wife ran off with a traveling man. He came up here about 10 years ago, lives in a little shack about half a mile north of here. We think he's the one been frightening the people down in the valley by waving a lantern from the mountainside while wearing a white sheet wrapped around him.
No one ever proved it was him.
Well, who else would it be?
Ghosts? Hermits? Sounds like a good start.
Well, come along. I'm sure Mr. Magee is anxious to get to work.
Good night, and remember, 12 o'clock sharp for Mr. Bentley's telephone call tomorrow night.
I'll be here on the minute.
I'll be coming to see if you're still alive.
Good night, sir, and good luck.
Good night, Mr. Quimby. Mrs. Quimby.
Good night.
The Quimby's exit. Magee locks the front door and holds out the key in his hand.
The only one, eh? We'll see.
Magee puts the key in his pocket, picks up his 2 cases, turns out the light, and heads upstairs. Only the light from the fireplace remains. Just then, the sound of the front door being unlocked. The front door opens and Bland enters. Sees the fire, warms up his hands for a minute, and looks around. He sees the safe behind the counter, goes over to it, turns the combination lock, and opens it up. Snapping his fingers, Bland heads over to the telephone and begins to dial. Magee, hearing the noise from upstairs, comes to the banister, sees Bland, and hides behind a large plant at the top of the stairs.
Hello? That you, Andy? This is Bland. I'm at Baldpate. Yes, damn near frozen. I thought you said Mayor Cargan would meet me here. No, I can't stay here all night. Listen, I'll hide the money here in the safe and meet him back here at 9 in the morning. The money's safer here than any other spot on Earth. I'll lock the safe as soon as I put the package in. Yeah. Mayor Cargan knows the combination. Well, it's the last place they'll look for it. Besides, how could they get in? My key to Baldpate is the only one in existence. I tell you, I know best. Well, okay, I'll be back in town by 1 o'clock. Right. All right, goodbye.
Bland hangs up the phone and heads back to the safe, where he takes a package out of his coat and places it in the safe. Magee starts quietly coming down the stairs. Bland closes the safe, double checks it locks, and makes his way back to the fire to warm up.
Good evening. Or perhaps I should say, good morning.
Who are you?
I was just about to put that question to you.
How'd you get in here?
Through that door.
You lie. There's only one key to that door, and I have it right here in my pocket.
I thought the same thing too until a moment ago. Since your key fits the lock and my key fits the lock, there are evidently 2 keys to Baldpate instead of 1, see?
You hear what I said over the telephone?
Every word.
You don't think you're gonna live to tell it, do ya?
I am not a tattletale, nor do I pry into the affairs of which do not concern me. But I would like to answer the answer to one question. Where did you get your key to Baldpate?
None of your damn business. I don't have to explain my life story to you.
My right here is indisputable.
Who gave you your key?
None of your damn business. Same answer you gave me.
You got some nerve talking like that, with a gun pointed at your face.
Oh, that doesn't disturb me in the least. I've written so much of this melodramatic stuff, it rather amuses me to discover the so-called literary trash is the real thing after all.
Say, I killed a man for laughing at me once. If you don't tell me who you are and what you're doing here, I'll kill you as dead as a doornail. Now, who are you?
You may call me Mr. Smith. I'm a writer.
What are you doing here?
Popular novels. Trying to win a bet by completing a story of Baldpate in 24 hours. I give you my word of honor, whatever I've seen or heard shall remain absolutely sacred.
You must think I'm a fool to believe that.
Very well. If you don't believe me, then go upstairs to the room on the left. You'll see a typewriter, manuscript paper, and a letter from the owner of this inn.
You're not in with the police?
No. I wish I were if the graft was as good as they say. Wait a minute. I'll get the letter for you.
Wait. I've been double-crossed before. I'll find it if it's in there.
Very well. Go right along.
Yeah, it's just what I'm going to do. Gonna keep you in my sights, though, just in case. Show me the way.
All right.
The 2 head up the stairs, and as they start to enter the room...
Wait a minute. You're too damn willing. You wait out here. I'll let you know when I'm satisfied you're not gonna spring something.
Very well. If you don't trust me, go ahead.
Bland goes into the room. Before Bland can turn around, Magee slams the door shut, sits, and runs downstairs.
Open this door! Damn you, I'll get you for this!
As Magee thinks about what to do next, the front door unlocks. Mary enters, and the rush of the cold air startles Magee.
Who's there? What do you want?
Don't shoot. I'm harmless.
How did you open that door?
Unlocked it with the key, of course.
My God.
Lock the door! Lock the door!
What's the matter? What happened?
A man, he appeared at the window above, holding a gun. He jumped to the ground and started running down the mountainside.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure.
Just a moment.
Magee heads upstairs to check the room he locked Bland in, while Mary closes and locks the front door.
The bird has flown the coop, but he forgot when he took this when he jumped. Don't be alarmed. I'm not going to shoot you, at least. Not yet. Now, might I ask why I'm honored by this midnight visit?
I can explain in very few words. Why do you stare at me so?
Do you believe in love at first sight?
What do you mean?
I've written about it in a great many times, but I never believed in it before. Pardon me. You were about to explain your visit here.
Which I fully intend to do, but first, I would like to ask you a question. How did you get in here without this key?
Oh, no. You know, I'm beginning to think this whole thing is a frame-up.
What do you mean?
You have the only key to Baldpate in existence, I suppose.
Yes, and I was gonna...
Well, believe me, ladies, there are more keys to Baldpate than you'll find in a Steinway piano.
Then he lied.
Who lied?
Remember your promise, Mary?
I can't tell you his name.
Well, at least tell me your name.
My name is Mary Norton. I do special stories for the Rudin Star.
The newspaper game, eh?
That's it. I'm here to do this story.
What story?
The story of the $5,000 wager you made with a certain gentleman that you could write a complete novel inside of 24 hours.
Who gave you that information?
I can only tell you that the wager was made at the 44th Street Club this afternoon, and a certain someone dispatched that news to me at once. Believing I had the only key to Baldpate, I hurry here to let you in, and lo and behold, I already find you here and at work. Well, now that you know my story, I'd like to throw myself at your mercy and ask that you allow me to stay here and get the beat. I promise we won't disturb you in the least.
Let me get this clear. Your idea was to come up here and write a story of my 24-hour task.
With your permission.
A half an hour ago, I would have said an empathetically no. But since my little experience with the gun-toting, window-jumping gentleman, I'm inclined to entertain the idea of a companion or two.
Who was the man with the gun?
And why did he jump out the window?
You might as well why he asked to place a package of money in the safe, or why he telephoned someone else to pass the message on to Mayor Cargan.
Mayor Cargan?
Mrs. Rhodes is to become Mrs. Cargan next Sunday.
Well, congratulations, Mrs. Rhodes. I'm not accusing Mayor Cargan of any transaction, dishonest or otherwise. I was merely trying to point out to you, ladies, that it's all been a night of wild occurrences up until now. If you'll excuse me, I've lost half an hour already, and since every minute means money to me right now, I'll have to work fast for the time I've lost. I'd gladly offer you my room, but it's the only cleaned and heated, and I must have comfort while I work. Good night, ladies.
As Magee heads up the stairs,
Good night.
Mary, that's the sweetest name in the world.
Thank you. Good night.
I wish you hadn't brought her with you. Good night.
Good night.
Magee enters his room and shuts the door.
You don't believe Jim Cargan of any treachery, do you?
I don't know. I told you about the suburban bribe story we got last night. I just hope Cargan's name is clean for both your sakes.
Oh, I won't believe it.
It's best you should find out now. Maybe the fates have brought us here tonight to protect you.
He said there was money hid in that safe.
Yes, and that goes with the suburban bribe story. I just might get 2 stories tonight. I'll be set.
Mary? Look!
What is it?
Both women look out the window near the door. They let out a scream and run and hide behind the lobby furniture. Magee comes out of his room.
What's going on down there?
A ghost!
We saw a ghost.
Well, I'll bet you it's that hermit fellow whose wife ran off with the traveling man. You two be quiet.
Peters unlocks the front door and enters the inn. He takes the sheet off and throws it over his arm. Magee comes down the stairs, and the women watch from their hiding spots.
What are these women doing here?
I beg your pardon, but do you have any idea how many keys there are to this place?
Oh, what are these women doing here?
How's that?
I don't like women.
It's all right, ladies. He's not a regular ghost. If you ladies will kindly step upstairs into my room, I'll either kill it or cure it.
What?
The two women scurry up the stairs to Magee's room and shut the door.
So you're the ghost of Baldpate, I suppose.
Oh, how'd you people get in here?
You're not going to pull that only key in existence speech on me, are you?
Oh, they're all imitations, so mine's the real key. Oh, the old man gave it to me the day before he died.
I take it you're not particularly fond of the present owner of Baldpate.
Oh, I hate him and all his men friends.
You don't like women either, you say?
No, I despise them.
Now see here, old man, why don't you stick to your line of work? You're a hermit by trade, aren't you?
Oh, I'm a hermit. I'm proud of it.
Why don't you cut out this ghost business and just be a regular hermit?
I like to see the cowards run. They're shooting! They're shooting!
Oh my God, what's happening?
Shh! Go back to the room.
Mary goes back into Magee's room while Peters runs off toward the kitchen. Magee watches as the door is unlocked and opened.
My God, another key.
Magee goes toward the banister as Myra Thornhill enters. She turns and locks the door behind her, takes a glance around, and goes to the fire to warm her hands. After a moment, she goes to the safe and starts working the combination. Magee switches on the light nearest the safe.
I thought I'd give you a little more light so you could work faster. Come on out here, please. Really, you're the most attractive burglar I've ever seen, that is, if you are a burglar. Are you?
Are you one of the Cargan crowd? Do you represent the Rutan suburban people?
Mary and Mrs. Rhodes sneak out onto the balcony to listen.
No, I'm just an ordinary man trying to win a bet. But up till now, the chances have been dead against me. Perhaps you'd like to tell me who you are.
I will, if you answer me one question.
Of course, a friend of mine gave it to me. I'm sure you thought you had the only key in existence, but I have a cute little key of my own, see?
Will you please tell me your name?
You may call me Mr. Jones. And yours?
My name is, listen. My husband is the president of Ascawan Rutan Suburban Railway Company. He has agreed to pay a vast amount of money for a certain city franchise. A franchise the political crowd has no power to grant. They're going to cheat him out of this money and use it for the campaign to fight the opposition party in the next election. If he sues for his money back, they'll expose him for entering into an agreement nothing short of bribery. The present mayor is at the bottom of it all. I went to my husband earlier tonight and I begged him not to enter this deal. I warned him he was being cheated. He wouldn't believe me, but I know it's true. I must have been followed here tonight because I was shot at as I reached the top of Baldpate. I don't know who you are, but maybe you can help me. You will help me, won't you?
What do you want me to do?
In that safe, there's a package containing $200,000.
$200,000.
A man named Bland was to bring it here and put it in the safe at midnight. Cargan was to follow later and retrieve it. I must have that money out of the safe before he arrives. Don't you understand? My husband, he's being cheated, tricked, robbed, and probably ruined. You'll help me, won't you?
But I don't know the combination.
There must be something we can do.
Mary and Mrs. Rhodes come down the stairs.
Who are these women? What are they doing here? Don't tell them who I am. My husband will kill me if he finds out I've come here. Give me a word as a gentleman.
I give you my word.
Thank you.
Ladies, an old schoolmate of mine, Miss Brown, has ventured out to Baldpate to witness my endeavor to break all records as a speedy storyteller.
Miss
Brown. Sir, might I have a word with you alone?
I'd like to be alone with you forever. Miss Brown, why don't you go upstairs and make yourself at home? Miss Rhodes, will you show her the way? I'm sure she'll need a drop of something after that bitter cold trip down up the mountain. You'll find a flask on the table.
Come along, miss. I know where it is. I've already tried it.
Really? I don't know what to say about all this kindness. Thanks, awfully.
Mrs. Rhodes and Myra go upstairs to Magee's room and close the door.
Who did that woman claim to be?
That's a secret I promised never to reveal.
But I overheard everything she said.
Then you know.
I know she lied.
She lied.
She claimed to be the wife of Thomas Hayden, president of the Suburban Railway. I've known Mrs. Hayden all my life and went to school with her daughters. Miss Hayden is a woman in her 50s. Well, you can see yourself, she's nothing but a slip of a girl. There's a mystery going on here.
Yeah, and it's costing me $5,000. I'll never get my work done tonight, I can see that now, but what do I care? I've met you. I've written a lot of those Romeo speeches in my novels, though I've never felt this way myself. The moment you walked in through that door and I laid my eyes on you, I made up my mind that you were the only woman in the world for me. There's nothing I wouldn't do for you.
Very well. Get me that package of money out of the safe before Cargan comes and steals it. Help me reach Rudin without getting caught, and I'll annihilate the graph with tomorrow's edition of the Star. With the money turned over to the proper authorities and as proof of the deal, I'll wipe the streetcar trust and the Cargan crowd with one swing of the pen. I know Cargan's crooked, always has been, but I must prove it before she'll break off the engagement. Oh, what a story. You'll help me, won't you?
Yes. What do you want me to do?
We must hurry. We've got to find a way to open that safe.
What are we going to do? We don't know the combination, and I haven't any dynamite.
As Peters sneaks back into the room, he bumps a chair.
What was that?
Oh, nothing. Probably just the wind. Go upstairs. There's someone hiding in the room. Good night, Miss Norton.
Good night.
Mary hurries upstairs. Magee switches off the lights and goes upstairs. He opens the linen closet door and slams it shut, then goes back to the balcony to watch. Peters comes out of his hiding spot and goes to the safe. Peters starts working on the combination, and just as he opens the safe door, Cargan and Max quietly unlock the front door and enter. Max sees Peters at the safe and...
Hey, get away from that safe! Put up your hands!
Oh, it's you. But come out of there. How'd you know the combination of that safe? Who told you there was money in there? Throw him in the cellar, Max.
Yeah, come on, hurry up. Get out of there!
Oh, damn you, Cargan. I hate you.
Get out.
Come on!
Max locks Peters in a room nearby and returns.
Another moment and he had it for sure. It would be goodbye to the hermit if he ever got a hold of a roll like this. $201,000 bills.
Is it all there?
I don't know. I'll see. You seem surprised I found money here.
What do you mean, surprised?
Max, I haven't trusted you all day, and I didn't trust you tonight. I thought you were going to double-cross me and beat me to the bankroll through that Thornhill woman.
Myra Thornhill?
No, don't play dumb. You've had plenty of secret meetings with her over the last 48 hours, and I know every move you've made. I've had you watched. I had my mind made up to kill you, Max, if the money was gone. But then that's just what I'm going to do if you ever double-cross me. Understand?
Yeah, I understand.
Magee, who has been hiding behind a plant on the upstairs balcony, steps out, aims, and fires a shot at the wall near Cargan.
My God, I'm shot!
No, you're not. I just put a bullet in the wall, but I'll put a bullet in you if you don't toss that package of money over here. Come on, I mean business.
Just then, Mrs. Rhodes and Myra come out of the bedroom and down the stairs.
Jim Cargan!
What are you doing here?
Max! Max, are you hurt?
Oh, I'm all right.
Myra Thornhill, eh? You snake.
Cargan lunges for Max and begins choking him. The women scream.
Unorderly conduct. No roughhousing, please. Max, put that gun of yours on the table. Good now. Now kindly remove the gun from Cargan's pocket. I'm sure he has one. And put it on the table. Hurry, please. Now, Mrs. Rhodes, will you kindly ask the streetcar president's wife to step back into that room, then lock the door and remove the key? Thank you. Now, Miss Norton, will you kindly step down here and take those 2 revolvers and place them in the hotel safe? Close the safe and turn the combination lock. Thank you. Now, gentlemen, I must insist you go upstairs and enter the first room on the right. Mrs. Rhodes, please lock the door once the gentlemen are inside the room. I shan't keep you there long, gentlemen. I'll release you as soon as I'm finished with some very important business with this young lady. Off you go. Lock the door, Mrs. Rhodes. That's it. Now bring the key to me. Thank you. It was some roundup, wasn't it? I'm awfully sorry for all this for your sake, Mrs. Rhodes.
Oh, it's best you should know, isn't it, Mrs. Rhodes?
Oh, I suppose so.
Well, come on, we've got to work fast. Here's the gaffed money. Now go. Now what?
I have everything planned. I know just what I'll do. What's the time?
1 o'clock, but you won't get a train until 5. You'll have to get a taxi or something.
I'll find a way. Are you going to stay here?
I'll have to in order to keep guard of this crowd until I've known you've made it safe to town and out of danger.
Oh, but what about your work?
So far, as the bet's concerned, I can lose that and still be repaid 1,000,000 times over. I've met you. I wonder if we'll ever meet again.
I live in Rootin. Good night.
Good night.
Magee and Mary look longingly at one another until Mary finally leaves quickly. Mrs. Rhodes exits.
Crooked politicians, safe robbers, love at first sight. And I wanted to get away from the melodrama.
The front door unlocks and Hayden enters. Closes the door, locks it, and puts the key in his pocket. He turns and comes face to face with Magee.
I beg pardon, but who are you?
I'm Mayor Cargan's butler. Do you wish to see him?
Yes, say to him that Mr. Hayden, president of the Suburban Railway, is calling.
Oh, I see. Your wife is here.
What?
Yes, locked in that room, just up there. Just a minute, I'll tell the mayor the president has arrived.
Are you crazy, man?
Magee goes upstairs and retrieves Cargan and Max, bringing them downstairs.
Come on down, boys. Everything's all right.
Hello, Hayden.
Who's he?
I don't know. I don't give a damn. I'm disgusted with the whole works. We're nailed. That's all I know.
I'd like very much to know the reasons for such strange actions, young man.
Your wife will be down in a minute. She'll probably tell you all about it.
My wife is home in bed.
That's what you think.
Peters enters after making his escape from the room he was locked in.
Here, Hermit, take this key and tell Mrs. Hayden her husband wants to see her downstairs right away.
What the devil sort of man is this?
Well, here's a novelty at last. A man without a key.
It's Bland. I have his key. I'll let him in.
What's the matter, Dove?
I don't know.
Hey, that's the guy I told you about.
Oh, hello. Are you back again?
Cargan, did you get it all right?
No, he's got it.
What?
And here we are, Mr. Hayden. The young lady claims to be your wife.
What?
Go on, Grandpa. It's music to my ears to hear an old guy squawk.
Why, I never.
Hey, what are you going to do with that money?
I haven't got the money. It's on its way to Rutan. Miss Norton will see to that. It's placed in the safe in proper hands as soon as she arrives at the Daily Star.
The Daily Star? Oh, we're ruined. Hey, where did Mrs. Rhodes go?
Out of your life forever, Cargan. And we're going to all stay right here until that phone rings and I get word Miss Norton has made it safe and sound.
So you thought you'd try to cross me, eh, Max?
I'm afraid I made a mistake bringing you up here, Governor.
You're always making mistakes, you damn fool blockhead.
Sorry I got you into this, Myra.
Go to hell, Max.
Oh, I hope you're all sent to prison for life.
This is going to be a nice, pleasant little party. I can see that now.
15 minutes later, it's now 2 in the morning. They're a bit agitated and feeling impatient. Hayden checks his watch. Peters puts another log on the fire and stokes it.
Let's start a conversation. Things are getting awfully dull. Now, let me see. What can we talk about to kill the monotony and keep things lively? I've got it. Let's all tell each other where we got our keys to Baldpate. I'll start. I brought a letter written by the owner of Baldpate which gave instructions to the caretaker to turn the key over to me. Next. No takers? Big secrets, eh? All right, let's see. I had the first. Bland the second. Miss Norton the third. Our friend the hermit the fourth. This young lady had the fifth. Mr. Cargan had the sixth. If I'm not mistaken, Hayden doesn't count. He had Bland's key. 6 keys to Baldpate so far. I wonder if there are any more.
Oh, there are 7 keys to Baldpate.
7? How do you know?
That old man told me the day before he died. Mine's the original. All the others are imitations.
7 keys, eh? More company expected. Where did you get your key, Bland?
None of your business.
Right. How about you, Mr. Cargan? Where'd you get yours?
I wouldn't tell you if my life was at stake.
Well, perhaps the young lady will be so good enough to inform me where her key came from.
I have no objections.
Myra, please.
Max gave me the key.
Where did you get a key to Baldpate?
I can't tell you, Mr. Mayor. I've sworn never to tell.
I suppose you gave her the combination to the safe, too.
He did.
Myra!
Oh, shut up. You were never anything but a crybaby. Well, you've gotten me into a pretty mess. You think I'm not going to pay you back after this? I'll tell you the whole scheme. I was to come here and make off with the package. And Cargan was to follow and find the package gone. We were going to meet tomorrow and divide the money equally.
You rat!
His excuse for the money not being there was to accuse Bland of never putting it there.
What? You hear that, Governor? He was going to accuse me of stealing the money.
Mark my words, Max. I'm going to kill you for this.
Hey, where did you get a key, Cargan? You told me you couldn't get in here unless I met you and unlocked the door.
I can explain that. He was going to meet you tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Am I right?
That's right. I made the appointment over the phone.
The plan was to come here in the middle of the night and take the money. Cargan fully intended to keep his meeting with you in the morning and appear just as surprised as you would have been to discover the money missing. He was going to cross you and everyone else connected to the bribe. If I hadn't been interrupted by our friend here, I would have gotten the money and triple-crossed the whole outfit.
Who is this woman?
I don't know.
Her name is Thornhill. Don't believe a word she says. Her oath ain't worth a nickel. She's a professional blackmailer, pure and simple.
What?
Sit down, Maxie. It's just getting good.
Fine people you've introduced me to, Bland. You lunk-headed idiot.
What are you blaming me for? You wanted the deal put through, didn't you? After this, you can do your own crooked work. You got a fine nerve to go after me.
How dare you talk to your employer in such a manner?
I told you to stay out of the deal, that it was all wrong. If this thing ever comes to light, we'll all be lucky if we don't spend 5 or 6 years in the stone yard. I tell you right now, if it comes to a showdown, I don't care who I send away, as long as I can save my own skin.
One of the best squealers yet.
You squealed, didn't ya?
Sure, honey. I'm with you. I'm gonna scream my head off all over the place.
So you tried to cross me, eh, Max?
Why shouldn't I? You're going around crossing everybody, ain't you? It's your fault I'm mixed up in this affair, and the best thing you can do is to get me away clean, you understand? Hey, Hayden, you didn't think you were gonna get that franchise for $200,000? Why, this man would have bled you for $500,000 before the bill went through, and then held you up for hush money besides. He was gonna rob you, Hayden, and I dare him to call me a liar.
Cargan, is this true? Were you gonna rob me of this money?
Well, if you want to know, yes.
Yo.
I was gonna rob you. But you were trying to rob the city, weren't you? You're just as crooked as a thief. You're just as much a thief as I am. If I'm a crook, it's your kind that made me so. You, with your with the rotten money, tempting men to lie and steal. Big corporations such as yours are the cause of corrupt politics in this country, and you're the kind of sneak that helps build prisons filled with the poor devils who do your dirty work. Oh, you're worse than a crook. You're the maker of crooks. I promise you, Hayden, if I go down for this, you'll go with me.
No, hope the prisons catch fire and y'all burn to a crisp.
Look, this woman who took the money, who is she?
A newspaper reporter.
On the Daily Star.
And that sheet that has fought me ever since I've been in office. They've got me nailed this time for sure.
How much longer are you gonna keep us here?
That's for the telephone to say. I'll release you as sure as I'm sure Miss Norton is safe and sound in Reuton.
Then, you're not gonna turn us over to the police?
Certainly not. Why would I?
Because there are a lot of crooks. Oh, I'd love to be on the jury.
Look, there's no train to Reuton until 5, so that means we're here till 6, eh?
I'm afraid so, which is several hours at best, so you might as well be patient. You've got a long wait.
She couldn't have made it quick as that. It's over an hour by car.
Answer that phone, please, Miss Thornhill. Give the message as you get it, and I'll take what you say if it needs an answer.
Hello, Baldpate Inn. Yes, I know who you mean. Just a moment, Miss Norton.
Say that it's impossible for me to turn my back long enough to come to the phone, and that you'll take the message and repeat it to me as you get it.
It's impossible for him to turn his back long enough to come to the phone. You're to give me the message, and I am to repeat it as I get it. You're talking from the commercial house in Ascalon. You lost a package of money 5 minutes ago. You either dropped it in the inn before you left, or else lost it hurrying down the mountain. Search the inn thoroughly. Ask him whether or not you should notify the police. You're nearly crazy and don't know which way to turn. Just a moment. Well, what should I say?
Say to hold the wire.
Hold the wire, please.
The money? Money's lost?
Oh, thank God. There goes the evidence.
Who ever thought of losing $2,000?
Can't be
$200,000.
done outside of Wall Street.
Oh.
Surest thing you know, she's holding out.
You're a quick thinker, Miss Thornhill. I don't believe you got that message at all.
Very well. She's on the wire. See for yourself.
Peters, I know you don't like anybody in this room and any better than I do, so take this gun and guard that door until I get this message. Kill the first man or woman that makes a move. Got it?
I'd like to kill them all.
Don't shoot unless you have to.
Oh.
Hello?
Damn you, Cargan. Looks like I've got you at last.
Just as Magee takes the phone, Peters makes a move toward Cargan, but gets grabbed by Hayden. Myra screams. A chair. Bland and Max spring over to Magee and grab the phone away from him. Cargan wrestles the gun away from Peters.
So you wanted to take a shot at me, eh, Peters? Put him in that guy up in the room where they locked us before.
What's the idea, Cargan?
I'm in charge now. Do as you're told. Get on that phone, Miss Thornton, and tell the woman not to notify the police. Say she is to return here at once and see what she says.
Hello. Yes. The message is you're to notify the police, not to notify the police of the loss. Say nothing to anyone, but return here at once. Yes, that is the message. Yes, goodbye. As quick as she can get here, she says.
What are you gonna do, Cargan?
Never mind. I'm running things now. Get up there.
You harm that girl and I'll get you if it's the last act of my life.
Go on.
Max takes Magee and Peters upstairs, locks the room door, and returns.
What's the move, Cargan?
We're going to get that money if she's got it on her.
You don't think she's fool enough to bring it back with her if she's trying to get away with it, do you?
Well, what are you going to do with it? You know, if you find it on her.
Keep it, of course.
But that's my money.
Our agreement holds good. You people will get your franchise. Don't worry.
Look, you just openly declared that you were going to rob me of my money.
Well, that's because I was mad. I was being accused right and left. I didn't mean a word of it, Hayden.
Look, what do you think, Bland?
Don't ask me. You bailed me out once tonight. That's enough.
I haven't forgotten what you said, Max.
I don't want you to forget it. I want you to remember it all your life. I wouldn't care if you had 6 guns on you. You're nothing but a cheap coward, Cargan.
The same speech you just made to Cargan goes for me, Max. I want you to cut out this wild talk. I'm not going to listen to any more of your bluff. I'll put you on your back.
Look, gentlemen, please.
You keep out of this, Hayden, or you'll get all you're looking for if you don't.
What do you mean, raising your hand to me? I can whip a whole army of cowards like you. Get away from me before I knock you down. As for you, Miss Thornhill, what do you mean by claiming to be my wife? I demand an explanation.
You may be able to scare these little boys, old man, but I've got a nasty temper. So get away before I lose it.
Hayden is dumbfounded. Max retrieves a gun from the safe and slams the safe door shut.
Hey, get away from that safe. What are you doing there?
Max flashes the revolver, comes out from behind the hotel desk, points the gun at Myra and shoots. And drops to the floor.
God, have you gone crazy, Max? Give me that gun.
Now we're in for it. Look, is she hurt?
I couldn't help it. It was an accident, I tell you. I didn't mean to do it.
What's going on down there?
Is it anything serious, Bland?
You're a damn good shot, Max. You got her all right.
Oh.
Well, I didn't mean it. It was an accident, I tell you.
You lie.
I saw you take aim.
So did I.
Tell me what's going on down there.
Everything's all right. Nothing wrong.
Open this door.
Give me a hand, Cargan, and we'll get her out of here.
Where do you mean?
Up in that room. Come on, hurry up.
I didn't mean it. I tell you, I'm innocent.
Keep quiet, you damn fool. You want the world to hear you?
Magee pounds on his door. Just as Cargan and Bland get to the landing with Myra's body, Magee kicks his door open and he comes out.
What happened?
She fainted, that's all.
Where are you taking her?
You keep out of this.
Who fired that pistol shot?
It was an accident!
Oh, shut up!
I didn't mean to kill her. It was an accident!
Oh, so now we have a murder case on our hands, do we?
I don't know. Look, whatever it is, we're all in this together. We've got to frame a story and stick to it.
Oh, I don't.
We could claim suicide. Yeah.
That's it. She killed herself.
Do you think I'd enter into such a dastardly scheme? No. There's the murderer. You're all guilty. This man, every one of you, I've had my ear against the crack of the door for the last 5 minutes, and I've heard every word. It's murder in the first degree, and I'm going to help make you pay the penalty.
I'm afraid you're wrong this time, fella.
Yeah, you killed her, all right.
Better plead insanity, young man. It's the only chance you've got.
Bad business, this carrying guns. Who was this woman? Your wife?
No, gentlemen. You won't get away with it. I know every trick of the trade. I've written it by the yard. You can't intimidate me. Besides, you forget. I have a witness in Peters, the hermit.
Bland, bring him down.
Bland goes upstairs and comes right back.
He's gone.
Gone? Where?
He probably found a way. He knows this place better than anybody.
So much for your witness. I saw when you fired. You shot to kill.
I tried to knock the gun from your hand, but I was too late.
I mean, I didn't witness the shooting myself, but I turned just in time to grab you before you got away.
You know, maybe you shouldn't have choked her. That was the brutal part of it.
You dog. I got it.
Who's there?
Open up in the name of the law!
The police!
Keep quiet!
You better let them in, Cargan.
I'll get the door.
Oh, no, you don't. I'll get it.
Cargan goes to the front door and Kennedy enters. Cargan locks the door and puts the key in his pocket.
I'm Chief Kennedy, Assaquan Falls Police Headquarters. Mr. Mayor, what are you doing here?
I can explain all that.
Max has a gun on him, too.
Who are you?
I'll tell you who I am at the proper time and place. 2 of these men are carrying weapons, and 2 of them also have keys to that door. I'm telling you this to prevent a getaway.
What are you trying to do? Run the police department?
This is an important case, Chief. Thousands of dollars are involved in crime committed. Besides, I advise placing every man in this room under arrest immediately.
I've got men outside. Nobody be getting away. Such a crowd of celebrities. You got a gun, Max. What are you toting this for? Sorry, Mr. Mayor. I'll have to relieve you of that hardware. And the key too, please. I've come to investigate and do my duty. And where's the other key? He said there were 2.
Hayden's got it.
Hello, Mr. Hayden. Well, this is a real highbrow affair, isn't it? Well, come on, somebody. Open up. What's this big gathering about?
Hey, that guy has a key too.
Come on, hand over the key. Somebody called the police about 2 hours ago, but by the time I got on the line, nobody was there. We called that number back. Some woman answered and said there was a mistake. We got to thinking at headquarters that something weren't right. So I'm got in my mind to come up here and check it out. When I started up the mountain, we saw the lights were on full blast. And then I heard a pistol shot. Now, what's it all about?
I was the one who called the police.
What for?
I don't intend to tell my story until I'm under oath. I want every word I say to go on record. I charge these men with conspiracy and murder.
What's this, Cargan?
And the poor devil's gone mad, I guess. He shot and killed a woman a few minutes ago, and now he accuses every man here of the crime.
Murder, eh? Who's the woman you shot?
Don't let these men get away with this, Chief. I can prove my innocence. Max is the real murderer. These men know it as well as I do. They're accusing me to save their own necks. I can prove why I'm here tonight. Ask these men why they're here, and let's hear what they have to say.
He's been raving like that for the last 10 minutes, Chief.
Okay, mister. What's the reason you're here?
I came here to write a book.
Who was the woman who answered the phone when we called back?
Miss Norton of the Rootin' Star.
The Rootin' Star, eh? She's the woman that was killed.
No, her name is Thornhill.
And where's she?
In one of the rooms upstairs.
Was there anyone else here besides you people?
Yes, Peter's the hermit.
Another crazy man.
But he disappeared.
Well, he won't get far. I got men outside the house surrounded. We'll look the grounds over before we send for the coroner. He won't be here till 7 or 8 o'clock. You people have to stay here till he comes. What room's she in?
I'll show you, Chief.
Now, don't try to get away. I've got men outside that door.
I'm staying right here. I'm going to make sure these other men get taken into custody.
Cargan takes Chief Kennedy upstairs. Peters, who has been watching from the dining room door, sneaks in and goes over to Magee.
Carried the body from that room through a secret passage to the cellar. What? Them accuse you of the crime. Oh, they'll never find the secret passage. They'll never find the body.
What did you do that for, you damn fool?
Oh, shh.
Cargan, looking scared, and Chief Kennedy, looking frustrated, return downstairs.
Now, what are you fellas trying to do? String me?
He was in that room 10 minutes ago, Chief.
My God, I'm going insane.
I don't understand it.
If you people think you can make a joke out of me, you're mistaken. I won't stand for it. Now, come on.
No joke, Chief. There has been a murder.
Then where's the victim?
In the cellar.
What?
What?
In the cellar.
That's where she was taken after the murder.
That's a lie.
You know she was taken to that room.
You saw us carry her there.
Of course he did.
What are you trying to do? Trap me in the cellar?
I tell you, Chief, you'll find the victim in the cellar. Then you can judge for yourself if I'm as crazy as these men claim me to be.
I'll get to the bottom of this.
The chief goes to the front door, unlocks it, opens it, and blows his whistle. 2 cops come to the door.
Search the cellar of this place and report to me what you find. Every nook and cranny. Don't leave a thing unturned. Understand?
Just as the cops exit through the dining room, Mary enters through the front door.
Hello. Who's this?
Miss Norton.
I'll take that key, please.
She's the newspaper reporter.
She's a thief. She stole a package of money.
Whose money?
My money.
No, my money.
It's bribe money, Chief.
Where's the money?
The money's been lost.
What?
Where did you lose it?
I don't know. I somewhere between here and Ascalon. I searched everywhere. I searched every inch of this mountain, bottom to top. It's gone, I'm afraid.
Where's Mrs. Rhodes?
She became too hysterical to return, and I left her at the commercial house in Ascalon.
How much money was it?
$200,000.
Uh-huh. Who gave you that money, miss?
I gave it to her.
Where did you get it?
From Mayor Cargan.
And where did you get it, Cargan?
He took the money from that safe.
How
didn't
did you open the safe?
I didn't open the safe.
Who did?
Peter's the hermit.
All right. Well, who put the money in the safe?
Bland.
Where did you get the money to put in the safe?
From Mr. Hayden.
Is this true, Mr. Hayden?
Look, I refuse to answer for fear of incriminating myself.
What do you know about this, Max?
Oh, don't ask me. I don't know. My brain's on fire.
Oh, well, let's see. Hayden gave the money to Bland. Bland put the money in the safe. Peters opened the safe. Corrigan took the money from Peters. This fella took the money from Corrigan, gave it to the newspaper reporter, who lost the money in the mountains. And then somebody killed a woman, and the corpse got up and walked away. You expect me to believe this bunk?
The group stand there, trying to look innocent, when two cops enter with Peters.
Come on, get in there.
He's all we could find in the cellar, Chief.
No dead bodies or packages of money?
Nothing else, Chief.
Ah, Peters. That's where you hide, eh? In the cellar. Well, you'll have a nice room in the county jail tomorrow.
Oh, damn the police! I hate them.
Take Peters outside and guard the door. Question anyone who passes up or down the mountain.
You got it, Chief.
You'll have to go upstairs, miss. I've got a lot to say to these gentlemen here, and I'm not particular about me language. I'm on a case. So, if you please.
Look, I'm not so sure that this girl here lost the money, Chief.
Well, I'll get a matron of the jail up here to search her. If she's got anything, we'll find it. Now go on upstairs, miss, till I call for you. Now, who's this woman this girl says she left at Commercial House?
Mrs. Rhodes, she's all right.
How do we know? Maybe they're working together.
I'll call Commercial House and see if she's there. What's her name again?
Mrs. Rhodes.
Operator, this is Chief Kennedy. Get me the Commercial House.
Ah! She's dead. Someone killed her.
Who?
That woman upstairs. This is terrible.
The men all stand frozen, staring at each other for a moment. Then Kennedy, Corrigan, Max, Bland, and Hayden rush upstairs. Peters comes in from the front door, laughing.
Oh, what did you do? Take her back to the room?
Isn't that what you wanted me to do?
No, you blithering idiot!
Who did this? What happened?
It's all right. Take it easy.
Kennedy, Corrigan, Bland, Max, and Hayden all come back down with stunned looks on their faces. The phone rings.
Don't touch that phone. I'll answer it. Hello? Oh, yes, I called you. Hey, listen, Charlie. Hey, this is Chief Kennedy talking. Did you have a Mrs. Rhodes there by chance? She was? Oh, she did, eh? How long ago? I see. What's that? She asked you to bind a package for her till she got back. Where you got it? In the safe. Say, listen, Charlie, call headquarters right away and get a man over there. Give him that package. Tell him to bring it up to Baldpate as quick as he can get it. Got it? Never mind. You do as I tell you. Listen, and tell the guard the garage and the depot. And arrest all strangers. Then get the coroner on the phone and tell him to get up here to Baldpate on the double. I got a case for him. Now, don't lose any time now. Keep your mouth shut and get busy. Mrs. Rhodes left the hotel 15 minutes ago and left a package in the hotel safe before she left.
Mary, how do you account for this?
She must have stolen the money from me as we were running down the mountain.
They got someone.
Cop 1 enters with Mrs. Rhodes.
What is the meaning of this?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
Is there any trace of the money?
Chief, you're going to have these women searched, yes?
May not be necessary. We'll wait till we see what's in the package you left at Commercial House. Nobody leaves here until this whole thing gets straightened out and I found out who killed that woman.
You stole the money from me, didn't you, Mrs. Rhodes?
Oh, I'll never trust another woman as long as I live.
Oh, they're no good. Never were.
Shut up. Well, Mrs. Rhodes, what you got to say?
Yes, I did steal the money, but I did it for you, Jim Cargan. I knew if the story was ever made public, you would be a ruined man. The package of money was the evidence that would convict you. I intended to return the money to Mr. Hayden and try to kill the bribe and save you from disgrace. I did all this because I thought you cared. And what is my reward? You stand there, ready to turn against me? Ugh. Very well. Officer, these men have bargained to cheat the city of Rooten. I demand their arrest on the charge of conspiracy.
That's a lie.
It's the truth, Chief, the absolute truth. This young lady and I will testify against these men and prove them guilty of conspiracy and murder.
Murder?
What do you got to say to this, Cargan?
Nothing at all. I'm through.
Oh, I can't stand it any longer. I was the one who killed the woman upstairs. I shot her. I know I haven't got a chance, but I don't want to be sent to the electric chair. I'll confess. I'll turn state's evidence, but for God's sake, don't let them kill me.
There we go.
What are we gonna do, Cargan?
Oh, no less than 10 years, I'm afraid.
Oh.
Forever forgive me, Mary.
Oh, I didn't understand before, but I do now.
And you came here to write a book, eh?
That was the original idea.
What now?
A package for you, Chief. Police messenger says it's from the commercial house.
Thanks. You two men go back outside and wait for the coroner. Now, before I open this thing, I want you to know something. If this turns out to be a bunch of cigar coupons, I'm gonna... Great score. How much money's in here?
$200,000.
Look, I'll take that money, please. It belongs to me.
Oh, no, it doesn't. It belongs to me.
You better hold on to that money, Chief. It's the only evidence of bribery we've got.
You needn't tell me what to do. I know me business.
The chief looks at the money, then goes to the phone.
Operator, this is Chief Kennedy. Ring me residence, will you? Hello, Betty. Listen, Betty, get this clear. Get some things together. Get the children ready. Take the 5 o'clock train to New York. Never mind. Now listen, when you get there, look up the railroads. Take the fastest and quickest train that goes to Montreal. Montreal. I'll be there Thursday morning waiting for you. Don't ask a lot of questions. Do as I tell you. What are we going to do there? We're going to live there. Montreal. I don't know. How do you spell Montreal? I don't know. Just go to Canada. Any part of it. I'll find you. What? Never mind the furniture. Canada. That's all.
What do you think you're going to do?
You heard me. I'm going to Canada.
Okay. I hope you freeze to death.
You mean you're going to steal that money?
Why shouldn't I steal it from a gang of crooks like this? It's the chance of a lifetime. All this money. I'm not going to pass up. And I got it right here in front of me face. Not me. I'm going to have one hell of a time for the rest of my life. And send my 2 boys through college.
You don't suppose we're just going to stand by and let you get away with it?
That's just what you'll do. And my men will keep you here all night till I can get a head start.
Bland knocks the gun out of the chief's hand. Magee grabs the chief's arms and pins them behind his back. The women scream.
I've got him. Get the money.
Oh, I'll get it. I'll get it.
Let me go, you hear?
Oh, I've got it.
Give me that money.
Oh, no, you don't, Cargan. That's my money.
Don't let them get it, Peters.
Peters runs to the fireplace and throws the money into the fire. Everyone looks in horror.
Oh, watch the rotten stuff burn.
What have you done?
He's burned the money.
Good God, man! I mean, man, arrest a lot of you.
Oh,
Just then, Myra appears at the top of the stairs.
Look.
Oh, a ghost, a real ghost!
Oh, take her away. I didn't mean to kill her.
Take me out of this place. It's a graveyard.
As the chief makes his way to the front door, it flies open. The owner, Mr. Bentley, enters.
The seventh key.
The seventh key.
Who are you?
I'm the owner of Baldpate Inn.
What?
What?
Can't be true. I'm turning into a raving maniac.
I just arrived, Magee. I motored in from New York. I expected to find you alone. Who are all these people? How did you get in here? Have they disturbed you in your work? Oh, how are you getting on with that story?
How am I getting on? Great heavens, man, to what sort of place did you send me? There's nothing but crooks, murderers, ghosts, pistol shots, policemen, and dead people walking around. Hundreds of thousands of dollars, and keys, and more keys. You win. 24 hours? Why, I couldn't write a book in 24 hours in a place like this. My God, what a night this has been.
After a moment, Mr. Bentley begins laughing. Then the rest of the group joins in.
I'll tell you this, Magee. I'm not going to hold you to the wager, Magee. I want you to know it isn't real.
What isn't real?
I'm not a widow.
I'm not a real politician.
I'm not a real policeman.
This isn't real hair. These aren't real whiskers.
That wasn't real money that was burned.
I'm not a real killer.
And I'm not a real dead one.
Are you real, Mary?
I'm not a real newspaper reporter.
I mean, a real girl.
Well, that's for you to say.
For heaven's sake, don't keep me in the dark. Tell me what all this means.
Well, it means, old boy, I wanted to prove to you how improbable and terrible these awful stories you write would seem if such things were really happening. I left New York an hour ahead of you and went directly to the Empire Theater. I explained the nature of our bet to the theater manager, framed the whole plan, employed the entire theater company, hired a half dozen cars for transport, and arrived at the top of the mountain at exactly 12 o'clock midnight. I've been watching the proceedings from outside, and if it were not for the fact that I'm nearly frozen stiff, I'd call it a wonderful night.
This to me?
Oh, you're not mad, are you? Of course, if you want to go through with the bet, why,
No thanks. The bet's off. I had enough of Baldpate. I'm heading to the commercial house to the next train. Mary, is that your real name?
Yes.
Well, Mary, the shots in the night, the chases after fortune, the rest of the melodrama may all be wrong, but will you help prove to me, this man, there really is such a thing as love at first sight?
How can I do that?
Don't you know?
Magee and Mary kiss. Oh. Everyone looks on and laughs. The crowd exits one by one, patting each other on the back for a job well done. Later, It is now Wednesday evening, just before midnight. Magee is coming down the stairs with his 2 cases when he hears a knock at the door. He sets his cases down and opens the front door.
Come right in, folks. You're right on time, I see.
We've been out there for 10 minutes waiting for the clock to strike.
Lord, I didn't think we'd find you alive.
The only difference between me and a real live one is that I'm tired, hungry, and half dead.
Did you finish your book?
Just made it. Finished work a couple minutes ago.
Now, what do you think of that?
Lord, wrote all that in 24 hours?
Were you disturbed at all?
Never heard a sound.
No ghosts?
Nary a ghost, Mrs. Quimby, except those concealed in the manuscript.
The missus has got a fine breakfast for you waiting for you up at our house.
And a nice feather bed for you to take a nap in, seeing how the train don't leave till 5.
Lord, I am tired. Breakfast and a feather bed sounds right good to me.
That should be Mr. Bentley. Hello, Mr. Bentley. Yes, sir. I've got it right here, sir. 2 minutes ago, sir. They'll have to find that out. He wants to know the name of the story?
It's typewritten on the cover.
7 Keys to Baldpate.
It's called 7 Keys to Baldpate. He's laughing. He says there's only one. What, sir? Wait, I'll see. You want to talk to him?
Yes, I will. Hello, Bentley. I'm going to collect that $5,000 from you, old pal. Yes, some title, isn't it? And say some story. Wild, terrible, horrible melodrama as usual. The kind of stuff you always roast me about. I've got you in the story. Yes, really, don't worry. I didn't mention your name or anything. Yes, I'm in the story, too. Oh, I'm the hero. Say, this is going to sell 1 million copies. The critics? I don't care about the critics. This is the stuff the public wants.
And just like that, Magee got his book written in less than 24 hours. If you minus all the action with the theater group. Won the bet for $5,000, and he and Mary went on to live happily ever after. The end.
Thank you, everybody, joining us for 7 Keys to Baldpate. I hope you had a wonderful time. I'm going to bring the cast back on. Woo-hoo! And just announce everybody. Oh, so good, so good. Okay, for the narrator, we have Karen Berg. Yay. And for Mr. Quimby, we have Bob Greenway. For Mrs. Quimby, we have Carol Flanagan. For Magee, we have Andrew Lanahan. For Bland, Matthew Huffman. All right, for Mary, we have Brandy Douglas. Yay! Mrs. Rhodes, played by Ariel Hicks. Peters the Hermit, played by Nikolai Kazatkin. So good. Myra Thornhill, played by Diane Slamp. Max, played by Brandon Urie. Cargans, played by Pat Perdue. Hayden, played by Sir Ryan McWayne, Esquire. Kennedy's, played by Ralph Turley. Cop number 1, Carlissa Jones. Cop number 2 is Nathan King. Michael Wren plays Mr. Bentley, the mad genius behind this whole story. And our understudy 1 was Linda Spain. And our understudy 2 is Kathy O'Brien. Thank you all so much for this wonderful show. You were amazing. I love you. Thank you. Have a great night, everybody.